If you are a 2026 or 2027 KCSE candidate, I want to show you something very, very important. Lessons from the 2025 KCSE Knec marking of English Paper 3. And I will begin with creative compositions. Candidates were supposed to write a story or an expository essay. And the story had a beginning. That is, from his physical appearance, it was not possible to tell that the speaker had a great deal of wisdom. From his physical appearance, it was not possible to tell that the speaker had a great deal of wisdom. First things first, if you distorted any part of that beginning, you got automatic deduction of 1 mark. If these statements did not appear at the beginning of your composition, -2. I want you to notice that Knec has shifted from giving a wide scope of storylines. So that here we have a storyline that is preset for you. There's a man whose physical appearance fooled everyone. That is what every candidate is expected to write. Look at that preset storyline given to you by Knec. So going forward, you might be seeing most of these. 2026 KCSE, 2027 KCSE, there are high chances that Knec will streamline the kind of story that you will have to write. This is in a bid to curtail candidates who cram a story, then they copy-paste it on the Knec booklet. So here, you are supposed to give us, if you were the candidate, you would give us a relevant story. Let us underline his physical appearance. We know that we are dealing with a man whose physical appearance can make us underestimate him. On that physical appearance, it was expected that you bring out something, that you bring out a quality that downplays the capability of the man. For instance, the man could be slimmer, weaker. The man could have been a person living with disability. It could be from his clothing. Maybe he could pass as a beggar. Then underline the speaker. This is where many candidates tied themselves down. They limited their imagination. So that most of the candidates were talking about a speaker in a debate setting. Like in parliament, like in school when there's a motion, there's a debate session. Debate requires specific register. Because of the limited time and space, and the fact that debate is a complex topic, many candidates could not be quite imaginative with it. Other candidates quickly jumped to a conclusion that the speaker was a motivational speaker. Those that come to your schools to talk to you about how to do better, how to pass your exams, how to dress well, how to groom, how to look for jobs, those motivational speakers. Well, it ticked for some of the candidates. But for others, I think they missed something. Again, it did not give room for imagination. Ultimately, what was expected was a story about simply the person who has just spoken. So candidates who liberated themselves went for this kind of arrangement where some characters are in a tight spot and a person speaks to them or about whatever they are going through, and it makes a lot of sense, you know. But it was not expected to make sense because the one who speaks has been underestimated, has been undermined by their physical appearance. This approach allowed candidates to come up with different stories. And then there is the wisdom part. Had a great deal of wisdom. If wisdom did not come out, I've just erased the 4 marks. Your story was irrelevant. And so, -4 AD, automatic deduction for irrelevance. Because the story ultimately is supposed to depict an underestimated person turning out to be quite wise. We were to look at how he spoke. how he spoke, because we are told it is a speaker. How he spoke, and how he spoke was supposed to make a lot of sense. It made sense. It made sense. Furthermore, the wisdom helped resolve a situation. Eventually, we should see a change in perception. A change in perception. Among other characters will now change their mind and now say, indeed, disability is not inability. Don't judge a book by its cover. Truth be told, this beginning was not very easy for most candidates. It was complicated. And this part of wisdom gave away many. This question required broad-mindedness, required deep thought. You needed to sit down and plan from scratch your composition. So that habit that you want to carry this year to the exam room, where you cram a composition and then paste it on the Knec booklet, has to stop. A good number of candidates opted for B, which was write a composition explaining why we should embrace group discussions while resolving complex issues. I don't know if that was the correct wording, but it was about group discussions, embracing group discussions and complex issues, resolving, something of the sort, complex issues. Knec consciously threw off balance some candidates when it brought in the element of resolving complex issues. But then, why do we have group discussions? What is the essence of group discussions? To solve issues. So how complex is a complex issue? So the candidate was just supposed to talk about group discussions and how they solve issues. These two questions are supposed to operate on the same level, and the equalizer is the language ability. In both compositions, we are going to look at language ability. Those deductions, automatic deductions, might differ, but eventually what carries the day is the language ability. So you are supposed to ensure that whichever composition you choose to write, you indicate deliberately that you have good mastery of the language. Before we move on to the next part, I would like to encourage you to practice a lot more when it comes to creative compositions. You will not wake up one day and find yourself a good writer. You have to practice. Essay writing is a work of art. You have to polish. You have to polish it. You need to see your teacher often and collaborate so that you write as many compositions as you can. When you get to the exam come November 2026 or 2027, it is what you've been waiting for. It is the moment you've been waiting for to unleash your creativity. On Your Marks has prepared this workbook, not necessarily copying what is in here, the samples of essays that are in here, but giving you a free will to go and do it your own way, so that as you write, you are original. We want to see you write. We want to read you. We want to see the you factor in your composition. So this is what will liberate you. The On Your Marks workbook for imaginative compositions. Apart from that, if you are not very good with books, find our YouTube channel, On Your Marks, and you'll see 10 powerful lessons. 10 powerful lessons to teach you how to write creatively, giving you various perspectives, as many ways as possible to impress the examiner, who will end up marking your composition, so that your 20 out of 20 is guaranteed. Get this book. Mess inside it until you are ready to impress.